everybody. My name is Maddie. I am 19 years old. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I am a Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. So basically, as I said, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma on March 12th, which is actually a year to the day of when I am posting this. Back that up a couple of weeks. I had just gotten home from a vacation with my family. We went to Disney in Orlando, Florida, and I had noticed a lump on the left side of my neck, and it was obviously a lymph node. I mean, I had swollen lymph nodes before when I had colds, and at the time I had a cold, so I just thought it was more than that. But I had my mom check it just to be sure, and so she looked at it, and it was noticeable. It was not just subtle. It was like popping out. So she said that we needed to go to the doctor, and so she made an appointment with my just primary care doctor, and I went in and I saw her nurse, and she told me that this was definitely abnormal, and they wanted me to get a chest x-ray so they could see possibly what was happening, as well as blood work done. So I went and I got my blood drawn, and then the next day, because the x-ray machine or something was down, I don't know, or it's too late in the day, I had to go back after school and get my x-ray. And that happened was a Monday. Tuesday I went and did the x-ray, and then Wednesday we got a call from the doctor about the x-ray, and she said that there was a large mass in the center of my chest, and really creepy. That's not supposed to be there. Like, it was a large dark mass. And so this was on Wednesday, and that next day I had went to an ears, nose, and throat doctor that my primary care doctor recommended, and we went and we talked to him and scheduled a biopsy of the lymph node in my neck. This was scheduled for the next Monday, and so I went in and I had the surgery. They removed 2 lymph nodes. When he went in there, he saw that another one was actually really swollen. So he took both out, sent them to the labs on the 12th of March, which was a Wednesday. We had gotten a call with my results. So I had just been going to school. I'd kind of told my teachers what was going on, but not super extent. And obviously, I mean, I was out for surgery and all that other stuff. So I went to school, and when I got home, tired as usual, took a nap. It's about 4 o'clock, and my mom tapped me on the shoulder, and I woke up, and my mom and dad were standing there in front of me. And my parents are divorced, so my dad wasn't living in that house at the time, so I knew we had gotten something back. And my mom just looked at me, and she said, it's cancer. And I just broke down. My brothers broke down, my dad broke down, my mom broke down. We were all just kind of crying. And she had told me it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, that they were doing further testing to see the stage that it was in, which later we found out was stage 2. So that happened that night. I had immediately called my best friend Jessica, and she came over and gave me a huge hug and just didn't let go of me. And she spent the evening with us. We had dinner and just hung out with us, tried to make me, as happy as I could be. And so the next day we were actually going to the oncologist, which I had previously met just in case something were to happen, so we would have a plan set in place, so we wouldn't have to figure all that out. Anyway, so the next day I went and met with my oncologist, and she kind of gave us the 411 of what was going to happen. My oncologist is great. She is one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my whole entire life, and the nursing staff there is amazing. And later that week, I was scheduled to go get my port in, which is basically can get the medicine into your body, and they can get blood out of your body if need so. After I was diagnosed, they set me up, and it was going to be a week before my treatment, and my treatments were every other Thursday. I had seen my doctor, and then I had gotten my hair cut shorter because we knew it was going to fall out. And I got it cut shorter, and the day before my chemo treatment, we had kind of like a Kick Cancer's Ass party with all of my friends, and it was really cool to see all the support and love that they all showed me. So if you were there, thank you very much for that. I love all of you, and just thank you for all the support that you've given me. Also, during this whole craziness of what was happening, my oldest brother and his girlfriend actually designed a t-shirt that they wanted to sell to help fund my treatment and stuff, because it was obviously going to cost a lot of money. And we sold, this is the design we came up with. That weekend, the weekend before I was diagnosed, my brother had a match for wrestling, and my dad wrote the 4M on his arm, and it kind of just stuck. Kind of meant for Maddie, obviously. And then on the back, we had Baby You're Not Alone by Darren Criss, on one of his songs, because Darren Criss is one of the most influential people in my life. So those were made, and a ton of people bought them. It was amazing to see all the support from my community and my friends and family. Next day I went for chemo, and first chemo was fine. I had a little bit of heartburn, but we realized that was just reflux, so I took meds for it. Had to get fluids because I was really, really dehydrated all the time, and those continued throughout the whole chemo process. Before my next chemo treatment happened, my hair kind of started to fall out, not a ton, because it was 2 weeks after it was taking effect, and so I decided to dye my hair purple, because that is the color of Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I bleached my hair, and then I just dyed it on my own because I was going to shave it off anyway. So that happened, and it was a lot of fun for, the time it lasted. And then a couple weeks later, it really started falling out, and it was, no girl likes losing their hair, whether it's short or long. It was really hard, but it was more emotional to brush my hair in the morning and see it falling out than I thought that it would just be to have it gone. So my mom called one of our family friends, and I went over to her house that night, and she shaved my head. My mom and I and her shaved my head, and she took it really slow, which was good. Not necessarily for me, but for my mom, because I think it was more difficult on my mom to see my hair go. So after my head was shaved, I continued, to go to school. So I continued my treatment, and I was actually in high school involved with my drama department, and I was unfortunately not able to participate in our final spring production that I was going to have in high school. However, everyone in that group is amazing, and one of my best friends and I were the stage managers, and the 4 seniors, myself included, were all really close, and I just love them to death. And one of the girls, though, the other stage manager, she has been one of my friends since we were really young, and so she got together with the director and stuff of the thing, and they made t-shirts like they always do, but they made crew t-shirts, which we had talked about for a couple of years now, and so we got our t-shirts for our just the normal play t-shirts that everyone got. She brought out another box, and I opened it, and she said, "No, we got crew t-shirts." And so she opened it up, and this is like a joke. It says, "On a scale of 1 to crew, how strong are you?" And then on the back it said, "Tech crew, Maddie strong." And I immediately broke down, and I still get emotional talking about it because it's really cool that everyone in that field, I mean, they were like my family. They are my family still, and I just love them so much. And just to see that they still supported me, whether I was there or not, was awesome. That week I actually had chemo, so I wore my shirt to chemo, and I didn't go to the show that night, but on Saturday and Sunday I went to those shows. And days, kept going by. It was getting ready for prom, and so I went and got my prom dress, and I got my makeup done. I got to spend a little extra money on my makeup since I didn't have any hair, so props to you, Mom. And I went to prom, and I thought I looked really cute, and we had a lot of fun. I just went with 2 of my really close friends. So yeah, I guess I graduated after that, so that was huge. I had been waiting to go on my vacation. I was going down to Florida for LeakyCon, which was awesome. Super excited for it. I was going to meet John Green and Hannah Hart, who I've always looked up to. And before that happened, I was actually sick with the stomach, and I couldn't stop vomiting. And so I had to go to the hospital. Spent a couple days in there. I was perfectly fine after. I had been getting more exhausted and feeling tired and sick throughout the whole week. And I just thought it was because I was exerting myself more than normal. But I had actually gotten sick a couple of times while I was there. And it was because I was coughing, and I couldn't stop myself from coughing. And I didn't think anything of it. Plus I wasn't going to do anything because, heck, I had spent a year planning this trip, and I was not about to stop it. So I just continued to go on, and the next day I went home. I flew back home, and when I was in the airport getting ready to board my flight, I wasn't feeling good that day, and I had actually gotten sick right before. And that's when I knew something was wrong, because I was still throwing up. And it was really, really hard for me to just think about anything other than just being tired and just not feeling good. And so when I got home, I walked out. My dad picked me up, and he just looked at me, and I kind of gave him that fake smile. And he knew there was something wrong. Which is where I'm going to stop this video, because it's getting long, but I will come back to you with part 2. Okay, bye!